Friday, September 29th, 2023, afternoon edition. Please pardon any visual and informational inaccuracies in this entirely AI-generated video.
Good afternoon, dear viewers. I'm your news anchor, Xander Voxius III. Thank you for tuning in to the Future of News, the AGNDD Intellireport. As always, I will be assisted by my valued AI-generated colleagues in summarizing the news. Without further ado, here are the headlines of the day. 5 pre-market stock market insights for Thursday. GameStop stock surges as Ryan Cohen becomes CEO. LaGuardia Airport and Arthur Ashe Stadium identified as sinking areas. Animal teaser. Dreadful gangster and toxic father. Taiwan unveils first homemade submarine in defense milestone. 2023-24 NHL breakout player predictions. Drowan, Kako, and more. But first, let's take a look at this day in history.
September 29th in history. September 29th, 1267. The Treaty of Montgomery recognizes Llywelyn ap Gruffydd as Prince of Wales, but only as a vassal of King Henry III. September 29th, 1364. During the 100 Years' War, Anglo-Breton forces defeat the Franco-Breton army in Brittany, ending the War of the Breton Succession.
Today's obituaries. Francisco Bra, 67, Portuguese actor known for his role in Camarate. Saad Eddin Ibrahim. Brief Wikipedia summary. Saad Eddin Ibrahim was an Egyptian sociologist and human rights activist who was known for his criticism of former Egyptian President Hosni Mubarak. He played a leading role in Egypt's civil society movement and was a professor at the American University in Cairo. He was arrested and imprisoned in 2000, but was eventually cleared of all charges. Ibrahim lived in exile for a period, but returned to Egypt after Mubarak's departure from office. Stephen Ackles was a Norwegian musician recognized for his rock and roll music, which was heavily influenced by artists such as Jerry Lee Lewis and Elvis Presley. He worked alongside numerous acclaimed artists and took part in the Norwegian finals of Melodi Grand Prix. Sadly, Ackles passed away at the age of 57. Anupam Bhargav, 36, Indian actor and film director.
Famous people born on this day.
September 29th, 1935, Carmen Delgado Votal, Puerto Rican civil rights pioneer, died 2017.
September 29th, 1991, Nathan Modest, English footballer.
And now on to today's news.
General news.
Major takeaways from Hollywood writers' WGA contract, Polygon.
Hollywood writers are celebrating the end of the strike against major studios as the Writers Guild of America, WGA, reaches a new minimum basic agreement. The contract includes regulations on artificial intelligence use, minimum staff numbers for writers' rooms, and residual compensation for writers working on streaming shows and movies. The contract still needs membership approval, but union leadership has approved it.
China Evergrande says Chairman Hui Ka-yan is suspected of crimes. The Wall Street Journal.
A property developer is facing increasing difficulties in recent months.
Detroit Lions versus Green Bay Packers preview prediction on paper, Pride of Detroit.
The article discusses the upcoming NFC North matchup between the Detroit Lions and the Green Bay Packers. It analyzes the strengths and weaknesses of both teams' passing offenses and defenses, highlighting key players to watch. The author ultimately gives the Lions a slight advantage in the passing game.
LaGuardia Airport, Arthur Ashe Stadium cited as sinking hotspots in NYC. Study finds WABC-TV.
New York City is sinking due to a process called glacial isostatic adjustment, while sea levels are rising, increasing the risk of flooding. Researchers have identified the areas in the city that are sinking the fastest, including LaGuardia Airport, and Arthur Ashe Stadium in Queens. The sinking is not directly caused by climate change, but could worsen the impact of rising sea levels.
Taiwan reveals first domestically made submarine and defense milestone. Reuters.
Taiwan unveiled its first domestically developed submarine on Thursday, marking a major step in its defense against the Chinese Navy. The submarine, named the Narwhal, is part of Taiwan's ambitious project to modernize its armed forces and strengthen its Navy's capabilities. President Tsai Ing-wen, who initiated the plan in 2016, emphasized the importance of self-reliance in national defense. The Narwhal is expected to enter service in 2025. Taiwan hopes to deploy at least 2 domestically developed submarines by 2027. The program has drawn on expertise and technology from several countries.
GameStop stock surges as Ryan Cohen becomes CEO. Barron's.
Ryan Cohen, an activist investor, has been elected as the CEO and president of GameStop by the company's board. This change in leadership is effective immediately.
Business news.
Exclusive. BNP Paribas to track UK staff to enforce office attendance. Reuters.
BNP Paribas has announced that it will track the entry-gate swipes of its London-based staff to ensure they meet targets for working from the office. The move is intended to accurately track space needs and ensure adherence to working requirements. The bank employs over 4,500 people in the UK. While some employees prefer working remotely, bosses are concerned about the impact on corporate culture and the development of junior employees. The policy will not apply to the bank's French workforce, which makes up the majority of its employees.
5 things to know before the stock market opens Thursday. CNBC.
The first article is about the upcoming end of the month and quarter, with stocks expected to close in the red. The article also mentions the United Auto Workers Union planning to unveil new strike locations if negotiations with automakers don't progress, Mark Zuckerberg's continued focus on the metaverse, and Elon Musk's SpaceX landing its first Pentagon contract for its Starshield military satellite service.
Technology news.
Naquan. Last Paradise. Official teaser trailer. IGN.
Fake Bitwarden sites are now being used to distribute a new type of malware called Zenrat, which is designed to steal passwords. This information was reported by Bleeping Computer.
Fake Bitwarden sites are distributing a password-stealing malware called Zenrat to Windows users. The malware collects browser data and credentials, allowing cybercriminals to access accounts as if they were the legitimate user. The malware is delivered through websites that imitate the legitimate Bitwarden site and rely on typo squatting.
Sports news.
2023 to 24 NHL breakout player predictions. Drowan, Kako, Moore, ESPN.
The article discusses how NHL players can quickly gain momentum and have breakout seasons. It mentions Tage Thompson as an example, who went from a relatively unknown player to a star after scoring 38 and 47 goals in consecutive seasons. The article then lists 25 players who are expected to have breakout seasons in the upcoming 2023 to 24 NHL season.
Health news.
Long-term exposure to air pollution could increase your risk of dementia, study finds. 13 News Now.
Implant device developed by Houston researchers aims to cure cancer within 60 days. KHU.com.
Rice University has received a $45 million federal grant to develop an innovative cancer device called HAMMER. The implantable device serves as both a cancer detection system and a drug administration system, with the aim of cutting cancer deaths by 50%. The device is designed to monitor fast mutating cancer cells in real time and produce drugs using live human cells. The hope is that the device will only be needed for around 2 months, curing the cancer within 60 days. The goal is to begin human trials within 5 years.
Entertainment news.
Kendall Jenner explains what led to Corey Gamble feud. E! News.
The Kardashians Season 4 premiere shows Kendall Jenner bonding with her mom, Kris Jenner's boyfriend, Corey Gamble, surprising the family. This comes after a previous explosive fight between Kendall and Corey during a family vacation in Palm Springs in 2020.
How Kim Kardashian weaponized Kourtney Kardashian's kids during explosive fight. E! News.
The first article is about the premiere of Season 4 of The Kardashians, where Kim and Kourtney Kardashian are still feuding over Kim collaborating with Dolce & Gabbana after Kourtney's wedding. Kourtney accuses Kim of wanting the attention and being selfish.
Animal teaser, dreadful gangster and toxic father. Gulta.
The article discusses the release of the teaser for the highly anticipated movie Animal, starring Ranbir Kapoor and directed by Sandeep Reddy Vanga. The teaser showcases the complex father-son relationship and the protagonist's transformation into a psychopath in the brutal underworld. The teaser also introduces Bobby Deol as the antagonist and highlights intense action sequences. The film is set to release on December 1st, 2023.
Thank you for watching this AGNDD Intellireport. Like, subscribe, and click the bell button to get notified during new uploads. And make sure to tune in next time. Stay safe and healthy. Cheers.